Good morning, Mike Polston. I live in Northwest Hills. I'm in District 10. And I was asked, I'm a member of the board of directors for the neighborhood association there. And one of the big things that happened recently is we did our annual survey. This is where we poll the neighborhood asking for what can the neighborhood do differently, better. And historically it's been about activities and social events and the parade and those kinds of things. Lately, in the last survey, the top two items that came up were crime and traffic. And this is reflected in the ongoing pattern, especially in our neighborhood, which is unfortunately in a position where there's a lot of cut-through traffic that goes through our neighborhood at high speeds, 6-7 hours a day. People optimizing their path to get through, go from Mopac over to 360, for example. So we actually hired a Travis County constable to sit on the streets 20 hours a week to catch speeders, and that's been fairly successful. We're actually now entertaining getting a second constable, and these fees are paid for by the neighbors in kind of a pass-the-hat kind of model, which is kind of goofy in my opinion. So I don't know how many policemen we have. I don't know what the right number is, but it's for sure that there's been a very low impact in our neighborhood recently in that area. A couple points, just points I'll make. Austin is the job market destination for commuters living outside of Austin. That's painfully obvious. Perhaps we should use more of the city budget to hire more police officers to protect the neighborhoods. And if we have any kind of models that just look at the citizen count in the city of Austin, well, that's invalid with a huge number of people that commute back and forth. So we need to take that into consideration. Another consideration is, we are the vacation destination for tourists. In my mind, that's unfortunate. But perhaps we should use the hotel tax to, again, augment and to fund some of the additional police officers, especially when they're pulled away from their normal jobs to go police downtown, with all the festivals and events that we have. Last point, if we have laws in place for speeding violations in neighborhoods, then we need enforcement of these laws. And that's the most important thing our neighbors are telling us. Thank you.
I'm sorry, is Eric Bird here? You'll be up last. Sir.
Thank you. My name is Chris Harris, and I'm from District 1. I'm here in opposition to item 47. I will say first and foremostly that I agree with the sentiments of Councilmember Garza. I don't see the necessity of passing this resolution, given that obviously an APD staffing plan is already in the works. They're going to present that to you as part of the normal budget cycle for potentially increasing the force or doing what you so choose with the force during the normal time. So one, I don't see the point in passing this. Number two, I object to the framing of this. Within the whereas clauses of this, we point to the population increases. We've heard discussion of crime rates. These are not the basis for which a city determines its police force. As counterintuitive as it may seem, having a strict population-based police staffing model does not incentivize the police to work as efficiently and as well as they should. Having a crime-based police staffing model actually disincentivizes police to tackle crime, because the more crime there is, the more and more police you will continue to add. Furthermore, of course, police chiefs are going to recommend increased staffing. They'll always do that, because if crime rises, they can always say that we asked for more staffing. Okay, so it always gives them an out. These are not the reasons that you increase or change the size of a police force. You do it based on the actual workload that's necessary. I want to address some other comments that we've heard. We have someone in the neighborhood here who's indicated their neighborhood is paying for an officer to sit in their neighborhood to catch people speeding through it. Firstly, I just like to say that I envy a neighborhood that feels so comfortable such that they can have a police officer literally sit in their neighborhood and not feel fear, and not feel that that's going to mean that they're going to be targeted for unnecessary arrest, brutality, or violence. Secondly, I'll say that it is in no way a sustainable process for us to have police sitting in every neighborhood where they lack speed bumps or people speed through to constantly catch speeders. We all know this. We have to address those sorts of public safety issues and many other public safety issues in different ways, not with more police. And so I urge you to, as you consider the staffing that this city needs with regards to its police force, that you consider the entire picture of public safety and all of the things that go into it, including things like speed bumps or street lights, in addition to the more serious investments that you can make in things like substance use treatment, mental health treatment, victim services, and the like. Your job is difficult. It's difficult to take all the resources of this city.
David King has donated an additional 3 minutes to you.
Thank you. Your job is difficult. You're tasked with taking all the resources that the city and its citizens are willing to contribute to this joint experiment in government and allocating it out in the best way possible to meet the needs of everyone. The easy answer is to throw more police and bigger jails at public safety issues. That's the easy answer. I ask you all not to take the easy answer, not to take the easy way out, but to look for the solutions that, yes, might be complex, that, yes, might require new ways of thinking, that might require taking risks, but that will ultimately mean that less people in our community are put in jail, less people in our community are subject to police brutality, and that more people feel safe day in and day out in their community and feel like they have an opportunity to thrive in this community. I have confidence that you all can do that, and I have confidence that you all will do that, and I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Byrd.
My name is Eric Byrd. I'm the COO of Measure Austin. We're a nonprofit public education and research organization. What we do is we use data to address social issues, and we want to establish a data-driven culture embedded in the motto, numbers you can trust. We believe that the development of community policing measures must precede the hiring of additional staff to carry out a community policing mission. Austin Police Department's current performance measures fail to provide community policing measures whereby community policing can accurately be evaluated. We seek to add and incorporate additional crucial measures to tell a more accurate and useful story of the department's performance. As such, Measure recommends adding these performance measurement variables. One is % reduction in overall use of force and deadly force, % and number of interactions leading to critical incidents, shooting or serious bodily injury, and 3 is % of officer suspensions for misconduct where suspension is not overturned or reduced upon appeal. This was sent to all of you yesterday evening if you'd like to review in totality. And just speaking as a citizen, as a native Austinite, not as the COO of Measure at this point, something Chris said sparked something in me. The comfort that someone has with the police officers sitting in their neighborhood. I don't have the luxury of that comfort. Last night, even though I fellowship with police officers, you know, I had barbecue with a couple of them, you know, at Stubbs a couple weeks ago. We frequently talk, and I trust some of them. I had a dream last night that I was pulled over by a police officer, and I fumbled to record it on my cell phone without seeming too jumpy. I'm an adult male who's never had trouble with the police before, but at that point, I was afraid of something that hasn't even happened to me. And if you have the luxury of not having that fear or ever dreaming about that, then consider yourself lucky. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor.